when it rains, it really pours on poor Xbox, right? I got to be honest. I got to say that if this is true, wow. Like, Sony has really outdone themselves, and Microsoft could be might as well just tap out of the next generation console race already, because Sony already has it locked up. It's already locked up, folks. I already called that anyway, right? So again, this is pretty good news. This is something that I think a lot of people, maybe you expected it, maybe you didn't, but this is a little bit more kind of a rumor / leak, kind of something that we've heard before, but something that we hadn't heard before as well, mixed in this. So it should be a pretty interesting video. And again, it would really put a lot of pressure on Microsoft, and I think that it's really going to help sell a lot of PlayStation 5s. Given particularly the interest in exclusive games, this is going to be huge. What's up, everybody? Crapgamer here with Crapgamer Reviews. Thank you very much. Back again with another video. Thank you so much for checking it out. I appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe. I would appreciate that. The best way to support my channel is a simple like. You can also hit that bell so you're notified of everything as soon as it drops. And I do multiple videos, or at least one video a day. So daily content. I'm working on some reviews and stuff like that. I got a lot of big stuff planned. Should be a lot of fun. Thank you to all the new subscribers, old subscribers, everybody in between. You're appreciated. Thank you. Unscripted. What else can I say? No fancy scripts here. No robotic voices. No monotone. This is how we're gonna do the news today. Microsoft did this. Xbox, PlayStation did this. Oh my. No, none of that here. No, this is Crapgamer Reviews, folks. Off the cuff, humorous, funny. You know, I just gotta be me. I have fun with this stuff, and hopefully you guys have fun with it too. Again, I'm going to talk about the leak stuff for the PlayStation 5 in 1 second, but to kind of set up what I'm going with this is, look at what Microsoft did. Nobody's talking about this, but I kind of brought this up. Why is it that Microsoft had no release dates on anything that they showed, right? They showed some games and stuff like that, very, whether you liked them or not. Halo Infinite looks like it's going to launch with the console in November, although the latest rumor is that it's going to launch without the multiplayer. It's definitely 100% launching without ray tracing. That's a DLC later or whatever. It's a games as a service now, so potentially it might not even have a beginning, middle, and end. It might not even have an end. It could be much more like Destiny, where to really complete it, you have to wait for expansions and things like that. Even with all that, and the way the game didn't look very good, when that game comes out, it would have been 14 months, over 1 year, since the last AAA exclusive from Microsoft released. September, Gears 5 released. We're now 10 months with no AAA releases from Microsoft. 10 long months. Should they delay Halo, and they might have to delay it a year, you could be looking at over 2 years between AAA releases. Even if Halo Infinite does launch on time in November, that's still 14 months, and there's no indication of what the next AAA exclusive is or when it's going to release, because there was no release dates. In fact, Forza Motorsport, they said it's very early in production, and it's also only listed for Series X and the PC, which means it's out of that 2-year buffer zone for releasing on the Xbox One. So probably 2023, right? Everwild, same situation. Evolved, same situation. State of Decay 3, I wouldn't even consider that AAA, but that's in pre-production. Hellblade 2, that's in very early production. They're still scouting locations and stuff. So when is the next AAA going to actually release for the Xbox platform for people, right? Like, this is a serious question, and it really goes to show why they did this whole consumer-friendly spiel to begin with, to try to get people on their side. Oh, well, we're super consumer-friendly. Well, of course you're super consumer-friendly. You don't have anything that's really going to take advantage of the console hardware to begin with. So, you can release this Battletoads and Halo with the way it looks on anything, a phone or whatever, and it's not really going to matter, but it surely isn't taking advantage of what the Xbox Series X can actually do, which is a little bit disappointing, to say the least. Now, when you look to Sony's side, and this is a leak that came out, and it just came out today, and it's from a pretty decent source, an insider. So, but I will say, hey, the good news is I can link this, because, it's one of those where I can link it. So if you're new to the channel, any news sources, I link those in the description 100% of the time. If it's an opinion piece, well, I don't need to link an opinion. And if it's a rumor or leak, I will link it when possible. But sometimes when I just hear something, I make sure that I go ahead and tell you to take it with a grain of salt if they choose to stay anonymous, which sometimes that is the case. With that being said, there's a fresh report for the future plans for the PlayStation 5, claiming that God of War 2, the sequel to the 2018 10 plus million selling PS4 exclusive, will be released in late 2021. Not only that, but the new console will also see a classic PlayStation franchise revived as a launch game. So all this stuff should be taken with a grain of salt. It's worth noting that the source actually got a lot of detail showcased during yesterday's Xbox game event. Well, hey, you know what? I did too. I think 95% of the stuff that I said would be showed was shown. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. According to the report, which we've also been talking about this for a little while, Sony intentionally held some games back for a state of play because they wanted to see what Microsoft had at their event. In my opinion, they didn't even need to do this because Microsoft perpetually lets people down time and time again. Temper your expectations is their motto. So according to this, they're going to do a state of play in August, which we've been hearing for a while. A franchise revival is going to be revealed. Many people think it's going to be the Silent Hills game that has been long kind of rumored. But can you imagine if they were actually able to get a God of War 2 out? Now again, you got to take this with a grain of salt, but I do believe, because Jeffrey Grubb has also kind of mentioned that there is a state of play in August, and that also in August, so Microsoft will have something because they're going to announce the Lockhart and probably some prices, and I heard possibly the Perfect Dark reboot is going to get shown off then as well, because they pulled the initiative stuff from yesterday's event and pushed it back to showcase the Lockhart as well. So it's going to be very interesting. But can you imagine, because you already have a pretty stellar launch year for the PlayStation 5. Now, we don't have specific release dates yet, but we know Spider-Man Miles Morales is going to launch. They have Gran Turismo 7. They have Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. They have Sackboy. They have, that racing, that Destruction Derby game. They have Horizon Forbidden West, which they've confirmed is within a launch year of the PlayStation 5. So that's probably going to come out mid to late next year. So that's what maybe kind of puts me off on this, thinking maybe it might not happen, because I think also 3.5 years is maybe not enough time to fully do another God of War game, unless they started early, which is possible because you're going to be able to reuse some of the assets and upgrade the engines and stuff like that. And I think that that's probably something that they could have done, because supposedly they were working on something that was DLC for the game for God of War, and it was too big, so they were just going to use it in the next one or whatever. So they've probably been planning this for 3+ years already, and it wouldn't totally shock me to see it, but I really think probably the following year would make a lot more sense. And it looks like a full-on Spider-Man would be out then too, and we still wouldn't have anything from Microsoft even comparable, because let's be honest, they came out and they were very confusing, and they said, well, for the first couple of years, everything that's on Xbox Series X is also going to be on Xbox One. And then when you looked at the tags yesterday, almost all the games said Xbox Series X and PC only, right? Only the smaller stuff and a lot of the stuff we've already seen was for Xbox One. So it leads you to believe that that stuff is multiple years out, 2.5, 3 years away still, which is a very bad look. And I've been kind of complaining about this for a while. If you think about it, how can State of Decay 3 be in pre-production when State of Decay 2 was out over 2 years ago? Apparently Everwild's been in pre-production and for 4 years now, and they don't even know what the gameplay is. Like, what are these developers doing? Forza Motorsport used to be a every other year franchise. The last one came out in 2017. We're in 2020, and it's only in early production. Like, this game might end up taking 5 odd years, and I think that that's kind of a little bit ridiculous. Like, what are these developers doing? I understand extenuating circumstances, but if you really want to think about it, The Last of Us 2, those developers, Naughty Dog, did and finished Uncharted, which I believe came out in 2016. So then they started on, The Last of Us 2, and that still came out before, and when you look at it, Halo 5 came out in 2015. So they've had more time to work on Halo Infinite, and it's less ready. So that, to me, tells you everything you need to know. Like, you can't buy talent, or you can, but without proper leadership and without proper, fortitude, it just doesn't seem like it works. For some reason, it just feels to me like Microsoft and their studios are just not exactly doing what's needed to be done to be competitive in this whole console space, in my humble opinion anyway. But again, I will link this in the description. You guys can check it out. What do you guys think about all this? I mean, would you love to see God of War 2? Maybe Horizon comes out early next year. They've had success with that, remember. And maybe God of War comes out late and as the holiday game. I think that would be absolutely bananas and insane and sell a ton of PlayStation 5 consoles and really get the jump on Xbox. And that's exactly what it looks like they're trying to do. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. You can hit me up on Twitter at @_Crapgamer, Xbox Live, MOH space Crapgamer, or you could find me on PSN, just Crapgamer. I try to respond to everybody. Thank you so much for spending time out of your day to check out one of my videos. Stay safe, happy, and healthy. Rack 'em up and game on. Crapgamer out.
Unscripted.